G'day guys, yesterday was a bit of a chill day. We just went down to Eli Creek for the day and just didn't do any filming, so a bit too busy. That's okay. Today's leave day, so what we've done is we're waiting on the high tide, so it's just probably hit in the last 10 minutes. Everyone got up, I don't know, about 7 or 8 o'clock. High tide's around that 10:30, 11-ish sort of mark. And we stripped all the linen and everything and thought, oh well, let's just get all our linen and everything sorted out here and dry. And I'm just making the beds and stuff now, so when we get out of here and get off the barge, we don't have to worry about doing that in Rainbow Beach. Already done. There's no point sitting around there for another hour or two waiting for that. We might as well do it here. Now power, so I haven't done an update for this for a couple of days. It's 36%. I think it was around about 31 or so this morning. We pretty much were going out every day and charging the battery in the car. It's a 100 amp hour battery. It only really runs the fridge and the compressor, so mainly just the fridge. Plugging that in the Anderson lead at the front of the drawbar as you normally would, and there's a charger inside behind the fridge here. There's two 30 amp chargers. Get roughly about 40 to 42 amps or 45 amps that come off those two chargers from the car when traveling. So yeah, we sort of punched in sort of that 50, 60, 70 amps every day from that, plus probably 30 or 40 from solar. So yeah, you're probably thinking 30 or 40 from solar is not much. That's because we're on an extremely shaded site. So that's been working. We're slowly just eroding it away. So you'd started 100% when we got here. The first day after day one, so it's full 24 hours we're down. That's sort of, I can't remember the numbers exactly. I think it was around 77 or something. So yeah, 23 or 4% loss each day. So based off those numbers, that was best case scenario. And I thought, righto, we're not probably going to make it. So that's when I made the decision early that we would discharge that battery to try and increase the stay here longer without having to actually move the van or worry about power. So if we had have ran out of power, it would either be try and move to a powered site, not really an option, as they're limited here, and or the other option was to plug it into the car and have it idling, which I did do once or twice, just for half an hour before we'd sort of head off. I'd plug it in and do it that way, or when we got back. So yeah, that's how I managed the power today. I'm expecting that's at 36 or something, so by the time we get down the beach and back to Rainbow, if I remember, I might jump up here and show you a quick look at what that sort of took. So that would take roughly, I'd hope to be off the island by 4:30 at the latest. So that's sort of pretty much 5.5 or 6 hours from now, which I'd assume that it'd probably punch in close to 100 amps an hour. So there's 500 amps on a good day, so it's probably more like 400. So yeah, we'd easily be close back to 80 or 90, which is pretty good. Nothing to really complain about. So yeah, sometimes you get a little bit stressed about power and what that's going to be like, but for us, it's not really an issue. We've got 1400 watts of solar, 660 amps of batteries under the seat, full Victron system. It's a 100 amp solar regulator. It's only one. In our old van it was 250s. This time it's split. Sorry, this time it's just one unit. To get the 100 amps, we've been damn close. I think it was like 98 amps one day. It was at Hall's Gap during the summertime in January. So yeah, very impressive. It did get to almost that 100. So to max out this unit, you would need the full 1400 watts of solar. I think we're at 1350 that day. So pretty impressive. But as the van gets older, I'd assume that the solar panels would be less effective. So, you know, 12 months later, you might be really back at sort of, say, that, I don't know, like 1350, 1300 sort of watts. I don't know, it might last if they're good quality ones. Just depends on what you buy, but like everything, not everything lasts. So anyway, we're going to pack up here now, finish making the beds, and we're going to head towards Eli Creek with the van, spend an hour or so there just to let that tide drop out that little bit more, and then we'll get going further down the beach. And yeah, we'll hopefully, our biggest fear about this entire trip is being about getting onto the barge. So that's all I'm worried about. I'm not worried about Inskip. So yeah.
What you doing?
Just put some air in the airbags. Can't be bothered getting my compressor out because the kids have got all their blow-up toys for Eli Creek in the back, and the back of the car's just full of junk. Right, yeah, let's get going.
Louis' favourite swimming spot is Eli Creek now. Where's your favourite spot, Kai?
Lake Mackenzie. Raise a voice, hear it echo. Raise a voice, hear it echo.
We've just come round to Hook Point. We're airing down just a little bit more in case the sand's soft and dry getting off at Inskip. And yeah, hopefully this time we won't get bogged at Inskip, but I'm hoping I can film us driving onto the barge and then off the other end this time. But obviously you guys will see how I go with that, whether they allow that or not. But we'll hit the road.
Over the water, saying we're the ones, saying there's no other. Would you be the last benevolent mouthpiece? Heaven knows we need you now. Would you be the most beautiful consequence of a world that's coming down? Standing up on our own for the things.
Well, we spent so many days stressed out about this, and that was piss. So
yeah, look, and I think it was, I knew it would happen, but it's just a case of whether we'd had to get on the barge in the right spot. We are in the right spot, which is fine. It's just been pretty nerve-wracking, I think, for us.
Would you be the last benevolent mouthpiece? Heaven knows we need you now. Would you be the most beautiful consequence of a world that's coming?
Well, as Sarah said, I was packing myself about that. That was, yeah, I just sort of took my time coming up to the barge, and it was fine. Like, I didn't rush, didn't push anyone out of the way, just took my time, gave myself enough space to get on here, so that was good. We got lucky then, which is awesome. Anyway.
Definitely all about the pick of the line here when you get onto Inskip. So we've just been walking it to see the best line. It's still really dry and deep soft sand, so we'll see how we go and whether the line we pick's good enough to not get us bogged this time. Well, we didn't come victim to Inskip again. What an experience. Yeah, 100%. A couple of days ago, we're like never again. I think, yeah, would do it again. So the most time consuming thing about all of this is airing up again.
It's not that bad. I've soon figured out that it's quicker with both compressors going. The one in the van is fine, but the one in the ute, it's a twin compressor, it's heaps faster. So I've already done the ute, but I've been doing it myself. So I don't want to turn one on and forget about it and then hear a big explosion. So yeah, we're getting there. Another thing too was I wanted to make sure I videoed the battery, so I just did that, which today it got back up to sort of 70%, 67, 70%. That's probably what it'll be. It'll be about probably 75 by the time we pull up. So yeah, wasn't the best day for producing power, but mind you, because we've been off power for so long, it's just going to take a long time to get it back up to where it normally would sit. It sort of fluctuates between that 100% and 60% normally, give or take, every single day. To come back from that 30% it's a long way to come back at 660 amps. The other thing I want to talk about was fuel, and we used 98. I haven't actually fueled up, I'm just about to. I'm guessing it's going to be around that 110 litres that I'm going to put in now, but I also put 130 litres in on the island. It cost $3.10 a litre there. I think it's about $1.90 or $1.80 here, so yeah, massive price difference. But to give you an idea, we did a lot of tracks. We didn't do everything. We didn't go all the way out to the lighthouse, only because the tide times weren't really going to work for us, and everyone was getting stuck at Nagala Rocks, and I didn't want to wreck my car. So yeah, we probably would have used, or we did use, somewhere around that 240 litres, 250 litres in total. 100% could have easily kept that right down to just not even having to fill it up. If we just didn't want to see a lot of the island, we could have just stayed at the van and just did a couple of the key criteria, and that was it. Well, what an experience that was. I'm glad that it's sort of over, but at the same time, I personally got in my own head with it all. Coming off, and I think getting bogged here to begin with, before we went over to Fraser, it sort of just set the tone for what it's going to be like to come off, and we did spend the first couple of days really worried about it.
Yeah, we were stressing that coming back off, we didn't want to get bogged in any of the soft stuff at Hook Point, and then obviously there's no campgrounds for quite a fair few k's up the beach, and we didn't want to be stuck there when the tide's coming up.
Yeah.
We were left well before low tide. It's just, you never know. You don't want to get bogged for hours, and
yeah, well, it's one of those things. If you get bogged, you can't turn around. You're screwed. Like, what do you do? Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is an inland track right there, but
as to whether it can fit a van,
yeah, and I think that's what's going on in your head, and like I think now, like, looking back, like, I'd do it again, but
yeah,
it's only because we now know, you know, the expectations, we know what's going to come, and
we've been through it now that we know how it all works, so we've got an insight. We're going in blind when we went on there, so
next time it'll be straight down to sort of 10 psi right here all round. It was my fault, I got bogged. It's not the car's fault.
We had an amazing time, and yeah, I think we'd do it again now that we know how it all works. And we were, I guess, we're not hugely experienced with tides and stuff, so now we are.
Yeah, so, with the van, and that was the biggest thing we were worried about, was this is home. Like, this is it. Like, if that gets taken, we've got nothing. Like, and anyway, it's done now. We're sort of, I'm relieved it's finished, but I'm sad that it is, because we just wound ourselves up too much, I think, while we were over there. But anyway, it's done now. We're gonna leave this episode here, and stay tuned.
Rainbow Beach and clean everything.
Pretty much already done most of the inside of the van. I'm gonna fill up with water at a servo, then brand new one coming in town. There is a fill point. Doesn't say it is, but I'm gonna. And get stuck into cleaning, basically. These beach days, as much as they're amazing, they're a pain in the ass too, to get all the sand out. The inside of the van's pretty much finished, but it's literally, the car's trashed.
Yeah, it's full of sand.
It's probably got more sand in it now than the beach. So anyway, thanks for watching this episode, and I really hope you guys got something out of it, because I tell you what, like, it's taken a bit of a mental toll on us, and we're definitely going to have a few drinks
I think
tonight.
It was just a huge thing for us before we leave you guys, is we've shown you that we can get this huge family van on there. So, you know, if you have a smaller van, you shouldn't have an issue.
Yeah.
So that was a main thing for us, and we wanted to show you guys.
So with weights, the van would have been about that 3.7, 3.6, I reckon.
So we went with no water. We dumped all the water both ways just to be lighter.
I did have one tank on there just in case we broke down on the beach. We had some water to, you know. So I did have, I think it was like 80 litres of water, so that's why it was around that 3.6 tonne.
Yeah.
And the car, to have a guess, I would say somewhere around 3.6, maybe 3.7.
Full of fuel.
Yeah,
and
so
we
coming
had
out, we were
lots of
lighter.
food. Yeah, we had lots of food and water
Yeah.
and everything
So
going in.
they're the weights. So when you're talking about doing this, that's the go. And one thing I did find with the Chevy was it done heaps better than what the Cruiser would have done, the 200 series, only because it's physically lighter and it's got a longer wheel spacing on it. So yeah, that helped massively. So when the van's unhooked, it sort of comes back to that nearly 3.4. So which is a hell of a lot lighter than what our Cruiser was. Anyway,
all right,
thanks for watching and
we'll
catch you next
see you
week.
next time.